to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jesse Martin.
You want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taman.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The King, your majesty.
And now here's your host, Jesse Martin.
Good afternoon / evening, depending on when you're going to listen to our podcast, because we know that the masses of millions of people out there can't wait for our episode to drop. Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast with my amazing co-host, Jesse Martin. Jesse, how you doing, sir?
Oh, I've seen better days, but yeah, I'm here.
But you're amazing.
I'm here.
And also our other good buddy / co-host, Mr. John Taman himself. John, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I like the good buddy part. I'm not your buddy, friend.
What's it?
And we are what? Episode is 49?
49.
So wait, do we celebrate on episode 50? Like, what do we do there?
We're supposed to have strippers or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll figure something out.
I mean, that's exciting news considering,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's almost
absolutely.
50.
That's how you get your YouTube views up.
Right. What we do this week is we lie and we say that we're going to have we're going to have Selma Hayek stripped down naked next week on the show.
Nice. Well, gentlemen, as we all know, I'm sure you watched the game yesterday.
Yes.
Welcome to miserable Monday. Unfortunately. So let's just go ahead and get right into it, and let's ask the big question. What the hell have we learned from what we witnessed yesterday? And I'll go ahead and start with Jesse. Go ahead.
Man, look, at the beginning of the game, I felt like the defense was starting to get a clue. It gave me hope, to be honest with you. But then after the game kind of went on, it was pretty much the same old shit, just a new day. And then this has put a double stamp on the fact that tailorable, see, I had to play on words. Heinicke is not the quarterback, and I am ready for Kyle Allen to come in. And that's, I'm not even trying to be emotional now. I've slept over. Now I want Kyle Allen behind center. He's progressively gotten worse and worse, and defenses are figuring out, which is what a lot of us feared after people get film on him. But I think we'll dive into that. Like that, it was a winnable game yesterday. It was such a winnable game yesterday, and one thing after another happened. And, I had such a good time with my son, and, we were both frustrated come the fourth quarter.
John?
Well, I tell you what I learned was that Taylor Heinicke is not there at all. And I learned that, of course, our fan base is going to go way overboard. Look, he might not be the answer, but he's the guy right now. And you got to treat him like any other first-year quarterback. 5 games in, he's going to have fucking bad days, and he had a bad day.
But he's not a first-year quarterback.
No, he is in terms of experience in play. This is only his 5th game starting or 6th game starting. I think he had one with Carolina. He's going to make mistakes in games, but I agree. He's not a quarterback one. He's not the future. He doesn't have the arm strength, and God damn it, man, hit the guys. He doesn't know what NFL Open is yet. You saw yesterday how many times they're wide open. But the ball is late getting there, and it floats in, and the DB has a chance to catch up and have a chance at it, or the sideline catches up to him, and they have to make either a spectacular play or they miss it. So learn to throw on the trust, man. Learn to throw, and that's what I've learned. He hasn't fucking learned to throw on the trust. He doesn't know when to throw the ball.
His deficiency is catching up with him, it seems like. His weak arm is major, and that was on display yesterday.
Well, he had a bad day overall. I mean, even other than the fact that his weak arm, he was floating balls like he always does. He was just inaccurate on short throws, thrown behind guys. He just had a bad day, So I'm not going to say that's okay. He had a bad day, because you're right. That's a winnable game. The right Jameis showed up for us. The stupid Jameis that's going to throw interceptions to Cole fucking Holcomb showed up, and we couldn't stop him. Yeah. All right. Anyway, Keith, what did you learn?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I learned the same thing that you guys did. I mean, I don't know if the right call is to say that let's bring in Allen now. He did have a bad game. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for him. He was still throwing the ball high. He cannot anticipate NFL throws. That's just the bottom line, and that's what we're going to get. Whether can that really be fixed or not is the key question. I've read a lot of people that say that quarterbacks can't fit stuff like that or can't fix stuff like that. So it's just, hard to tell. We know that his arm strength isn't there. There was a lot of missed opportunities yesterday, and truthfully, all we did was beat ourselves. We kicked ourselves in the ass. This was a winnable game, like I had suspected. We just couldn't get it together. I mean, the Saints MVP was their punter. I mean, every time
he was amazing.
No shit. He was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, pinning the ball behind the 5, 3 times? 3 times. That's a killer, especially when you got a guy in there that has not been used to that all season.
2 of them were good old-fashioned coffin corner kicks, man, right out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do about that.
Yeah. Nope. And sadly, when you got a guy, who's not a QB1, who's truthfully a QB2, he's going to make bad decisions. And unfortunately, he was trying to make things happen, but his, arm, in my opinion, is so weak that there was no way he was getting the ball over that defender's head. It was an easy interception, and bam, there's the game. It is what it is. There was just a lot of failed opportunities on offense, and really it starts with Heinicke.
Yeah.
And it ended with Heinicke.
The mistakes he made on those throws, those guys were open.
Yeah, there was a lot of people open all throughout the game, and there's a lot of frustration in the crowd too, as me and Keith were there live. And the fact of the matter is, what we fear is going up against Buffalo laid the blueprint on how to handle Taylor Heinicke. And
you got to have Buffalo's team to be able to do it.
Well, listen, the Saints ain't the Buffalo's team, but they're still a decent defense. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is going to go.
They were ranked 11th coming into the game.
Yeah. So they're a decent defense. And I just don't see it. I want Taylor Heinicke here. I want him because he's a perfect spot starter, like 1-2 games, maybe if need be.
Right.
Okay. He's the perfect guy for that. He'll give a spark when there's a spark that's needed. But as far as game in and game out, the book is being written on him right now, and it's an easy read.
Well, and I think that we can all agree to this, maybe. But what we truthfully learned is that when Fitzpatrick is healthy, he's coming back.
He has to. I mean, listen, I don't think any of us expect like crazy stats from Fitzpatrick, but he's a professional quarterback, and he's got an arm. He's got an arm. Right. He's got an arm.
He's got an NFL arm.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes his decision making can be not great, but he at least has the arm to fit it in those windows and get it downfield and not have to float him up and be able to hit Curtis Samuel in the end zone, which that ball, I don't know what the hell Taylor was looking at, but that was just that interception was just ridiculous.
I have an impression for you guys. Ready for this? This is my impression of Curtis Samuel's groin. Ready? Ew.
I think Curtis Samuel
tweaked.
Hurt his groin on that play when he
tweaked it.
When he was trying to come back for the ball or to come back to try to knock it off. I think that's the play that he tweaked it on.
He tweaked it.
And I'll tell you this, even though I made that statement, because I'm not a huge Fitzpatrick fan, never have been. I was a little bit more optimistic.
I don't think any of us are.
Fitzpatrick foot pajamas.
That's what I'm saying. I was a bit optimistic because I felt like we were, building a solid team. both offense and
Under him,
defense,
right.
and that it was going to be okay to plug that type of player in. But honestly, what we're currently working with now, Fitzpatrick ain't helping that. So I think that we're going to continue to get the same results regardless if it's Heinicke in or Fitzpatrick.
I mean, it all boils down to the defense as far as that goes, I think.
Well, let's lead into that. What did we learn about him?
Same thing. Listen, and this is where I feel, I mean, there's some coaching deficiencies, and I think we'll get into that a little bit later. But when you make the same mistake, it's not like these coaches are dumb. They see the film, they're watching the film, they show the fucking film to the players. Okay. When they were in quarters coverage, Landon Collins doesn't need to be 12 yards off the ball. That is a player mistake right there. You saw them because they did, it was a hurry up play. It was that 72-yard touchdown. He was sitting there talking with Bobby McCain. Oh, you got to do this. Oh, no, you got to do that, or whatever they were fucking talking
telling
about.
Somebody else what he's supposed to do.
Listen, that and Jameis saw that, and any quarterback with a sense of, you know, some respectability or some know-how was like, all right, Landon Collins is going to be right there. Okay. Oh, well, he doesn't have the speed as, you know, he's only 12 yards deep. My guy can take him all day, every day. He should have been 20 yards deep. He shouldn't have been in the free safety spot in the first place.
Jameis Winston with a 12 score on the Wonderlic outthought Landon Collins.
Yes. That's
fucking
pretty.
Look, for as bad as we're going to bitch about Taylor Heinicke, what I learned about our defense is that we still scored enough points on offense to be able to win a game, if not for fucking stupid ass fuck ups in the worst puck. What the fuck do you mean we didn't expect them to try for a touchdown? We're going to expect them to go short and go for Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, two things. A, Jameis Winston has a cannon. He's at the 45-yard line. You think he's not going to take a shot at that? Sean Payton doesn't coach like a pussy. All right. He doesn't coach scared. He's going to take a shot. Two, even if you weren't expecting it, we had 6 fucking guys down there, 6 of them, and none of them even bothered to try to jump up and fucking knock down the ball. Nobody tried to get position. You don't need to be expecting it. This is a fucking backyard play.
Me and Keith
Jesus Christ
sit on the same row, and where our seats are is like, it's not like back of the end zone, but we're right there looking down the line of the end zone, right? Okay, so we're sitting there watching it, and the only people that fucking jumped up for the fucking ball were fucking Saints players. It's like,
I'll tell you what,
they didn't even try to fucking knock it down.
Collins tried to jump up and got hit by one of our other players and knocked back down out of the way. And I'll tell you, it looked to me like a road crew that you go past at 10 miles an hour because they're all fucking just standing there. And Bobby McCain was off to the side telling them all what to do. Hey, you go, hey, you go do this. That was the most frustratingly, maddeningly fucking aggravating thing because A, I don't care if you're expecting it. Jesus Christ, you were all back there. How much more do you need? Do you need to get back there and go, well, now what do we do? Well, now what do we do? The ball's coming.
I think we had that game in our hand until that moment.
It was you knew they were going to get it. You knew
your job as those players too is to make sure that you keep the receiver in front of you. Like
they were. That's why he caught the ball. He was in front of all of them.
Well, I know, but
2 of them again turned around.
Again, you have to go and jump for that, though. Like,
yeah, you got it. That's what I'm saying.
That's part of the play.
Landon Collins says after the game, we're not expecting that. Well, you were all back there. Why? What do you need somebody to tell you what to do from that point?
Right.
You know, prior to that, from the 1-yard line, all Ron Rivera does is 3 dive plays into the line to punt. That's quitter ball. You got 2 timeouts. What does he think you get to carry him over at halftime? What is with him in first half timeouts? He's just they're so precious. He doesn't want to use them. Try to get a first down. If you're not even going to try, put Terry McLaurin on the field, which he was not for any of those 3 plays. You're not even going to threaten them. They know it immediately. You're not going anywhere. They know you're not even going to try. So I hated that. I fucking hated that. That is quitter mentality, and you just knew. That's coaching scared. And fucking goddamn it, I expect better than that.
I agree. I agree.
So there you go. But what I learned about the defense is, they fucking stink.
The line played better. Chase Young got his first strip sack of the year. I do feel that the line played better. I know Del Rio and John Allen got in a little John Allen kind of yelled at Del Rio a little bit, wanting to go after Jameis because
it's Jameis Winston. He'll throw it up.
Yeah, he had the he felt like he had the edge on the offensive lineman, and they wanted to hold Allen back because they were afraid of Alvin Kamara. Which I think was probably a mistake in the game. But listen, Jameis only completed 15 passes. Jameis completed 15 passes the whole entire game. 4 of them were fucking touchdowns. And we fucking lost.
That says everything right there, though.
Yeah.
I mean, 15 pass attempts, 4 of them are touchdowns.
And I think the linebackers did play better. The linebackers played better.
15 pass attempts.
Fuller played better. This game.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Fuller did play better this game. I think St. Juice played well. Everybody else sucked.
Deron Payne actually had some bright spots as well.
He played well. Yeah. I agree that the line played well, and I there was many occasions on they had 5 defensive linemen on the game. Tim Settle was in there rucking some shit up. Yeah. But Jamin Davis, where is he? 13 plays is what he got.
Where is 13 plays?
I don't.
That's it.
I don't get that whatsoever.
You got your other first rounders on other teams eating, and our guys just sitting on the sidelines getting 13 snaps a game. It makes 0 sense. And you have Bostic out. It makes 0 sense. Did coach keep him out because he thought that we would be worse? Because we can't get any more worse than we currently are.
No. Well, the fact of the matter is, back in the spring, I was when I first started with you guys, I said that taking Landon Collins and turning him into a linebacker, he's only 215 pounds. That's just not going to work out. But look, man, you're looking around the league. I'm looking around the league right now at 215-pound guys that are playing linebacker and crushing it. I was wrong, which big fucking surprise there. But
Landon Collins,
why is he not getting down there?
A box safety. And for those who don't know what a box safety is plays in the box with in around the line of scrimmage. He's not a cover
hybrid
guy.
Linebacker everywhere.
He's not a cover guy.
Why aren't we using him like that?
So
we knew it last year.
Why is he out playing a free safety position, knowing that he's slow as dog shit and not doing what he's best at, which is hanging around the line of scrimmage?
I'm offended. He's not playing that safety position. He was playing, I'm going to stand there and watch this fucking guy run past me. I don't know what the hell he called it. So.
Yeah, it was just an overall frustrating. Like I said, in the beginning of the game, I was like, okay, the defense is starting to get after it. We had Cole Holcomb had that interception. They were building some confidence. Chase Young got that strip sack. Deron Payne picked it up, ran it back a couple yards. I was like, okay, this might be, a semblance of a get right game for them, because Jameis did not look confident whatsoever. And then that 72-yard bomb hit, and then you see.
I thought the same thing until we kicked a field goal. Like, we just struggled to get in the end zone, and that's part of our issue as well.
Well, I felt it was going to be a little bit tougher to score on the Saints defense this week than against the Giants and against Atlanta, because I knew that their defense was a little better. I mean, of course, we would have liked 6 in that spot, but that did not get me down, to the point. Like I said, I thought we had this game won going into that Hail Mary before halftime. I thought we had all the confidence, we had all the momentum in the world. We were going to get the ball back and go down and score again. And unfortunately, that fucking whatever the hell that shit was.
They weren't expecting it. Come on now, you got to give them that. They weren't expecting it. They all got down there, but nobody was expecting that.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
And the worst part about that is, honestly, you knew it. You fucking knew it. As soon as he fucking flushed out of the pocket, you knew he was going to hit it. I looked at my son. I said, holy fuck, here he goes. Holy shit, here he goes. And the guy caught it. And I was just like, yeah, of course that's what's going to happen. I would like to give a shout out to my boy, Dustin Hopkins, for 3 field goals. You guys know I've loved this guy. He's like a son to me.
He's an MVP of the game.
Now, I'll tell you what, I thought it was funny seeing you guys were at the game, but see on television, when we went for it on 4th and 10, they showed him go sit down on the bench. He was talking to himself, muttering to himself. It was pretty funny. But at the same time, I don't disagree with going for it on that long 4th down. Fuck it. Why not? Why not?
Field position was already back there, and it worked anyway, so it didn't matter.
It worked. Right. So, they tell me, oh, that's why he's Riverboat Ron. Okay, well, then when we're backed up at the goal line right before the half, why don't you try to do anything? That's gambling to lose. So enough of that shit from me.
Yeah, so basically we haven't learned anything new when it comes to the defense.
we haven't learned anything.
No.
We're just like the defense.
It's just more frustration, man.
I wish we could play the soundbite of the Hail Mary. I mean, that pretty much sums up this entire defense.
Here is Winston, just going to take his shot, throwing towards the end zone, and it is caught. My goodness, touchdown. Winston's prayer is answered.
Hail Marys very rarely work, and yet it worked on our defense. Once again, just tells you how bad this defense is. Completing 15 passes, 4 touchdowns, all that stat tells you is how bad our defense is.
Yeah.
And
they weren't expecting it.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, I don't know. Landon said made some excuse like, oh, we thought they were going to go for the field goal.
Yeah.
And look, dude, even if they were trying to get a few yards going for the field goal, you still got to cover your men. And
they
did.
At the end of the day,
you need 2 deep safeties anyways, because they were out of field goal range. We had more
guys back there than they did. That's the thing. That's the thing that kills me. We had more guys back there than they did, and nobody did anything. They were just confused by this. What are they doing running down here into the end zone? My God. Wow, what do we do? It was crazy to me. And yeah, as soon as he fucking rolled outside, I was like, oh.
At the end of the day, Landon Collins is all swag and no drip. That's just what it boils down to.
Well said.
You know how they do those next gen stats on NFL Network where they'll show the guy he's rolling out this way. Jameis Winston breaks contain. He gets and he throws the ball, and they'll say there's a 0.2% probability that he'll make the on that play. They're going to say there's an 85% probability that he's going to hit this pass. Guaranteed.
Yeah. Jameis Winston before coming into the game has had 0 explosive plays. Was only averaging 146 yards per game. End up coming out with 2 explosive plays and 263 yards passing.
Look, I'm going to say it right now.
All it needs to say.
In the offseason, a lot of you people on Twitter and other places were talking about what should we nickname this defense. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. We're going to do this, and I think everybody should just use this from now on. They are the get right boys. All right. Whenever the team needs to get right, any quarterback struggling, come in and play our fucking vaunted defense, and you're going to be just fine.
We kind of already touched base on Heinicke and Fitzpatrick and Allen and what we think the future could lead to this situation. Now with our record being 2-3 and knowing that we're going to be facing 2 tough opponents here in these next 2 weeks.
Chiefs are pussies. I said it.
What'd you say? I didn't even hear it.
The Chiefs are pussies. That's right. I said it. We're coming after you, Kermit.
Yeah, save that for Friday.
We do have, just to touch base on, what will help is the Chief defense sucks. And there's some injuries that came out of yesterday's game. Their running back's got a knee issue. Tyreek Hill's got a knee issue. Joe Thuney has got a fractured hand, and Travis Kelce's got a stinger. So instead of the point spread being plus 20, it should be plus 19.5.
Well, don't forget our important injury yesterday, which is that Landon Collins did not get hurt. The motherfuckers expected to play this.
Look, where do we go from here?
Yeah, where do we go?
Is the fact of the matter is there changes has to be made, and it has to be made in the back end. You need to put DeShazier Everett in and call up.
Change
Jeremy
it all.
Reeves.
Bring up Jeremy Reeves.
You got to change it. You have to. It's because, like I said earlier, they're not seeing this and showing it to them, and they're still fucking it up.
Honestly.
I mean, it's not like, oh, you'll get it next time. No, they're telling you, okay, this is what happened and this is how you fix it. And they're not fucking fixing it. So since it's happened every fucking game, you have to fucking make a change now.
Is Del Rio on the hot seat?
I think he should be this year if things don't change. I mean, I'm a Del Rio fan. Okay. I cannot fathom that he's this bad of a coordinator. I think and I'm starting to put more blame on the coaches. In the beginning, I'm like, I think it's players. Okay. But I still think a lot of it's the players. They're trying to do their own thing and not.
Deron Payne called him out in his press conference yesterday. He said we'd be doing fine if some people were just doing what they were supposed to be doing. He didn't mention any names, which I'd like him to do. Come on, Deron, split the locker room. Tell me. I want to know.
Yeah. and that's why. Listen, I think Jack Del Rio is a fine defensive coordinator. He's always had good defenses, but you have some people, and it's McCain and Landon Collins, that are trying to do their own fucking thing, and they're not doing their job, and that is shooting ourselves in the foot.
It's killing us. It's killing us. I'd say definitely make some changes. Bring Collins down and force him to play linebacker. Fucking shut up if you don't want to play linebacker.
Or put him on the fucking bench.
Or put him on the fucking bench. I am with you with Reeves and Curl, because look, last year you can tell me about, okay, we played bad quarterbacks and everything like that, but the defense as a whole gelled and played a lot better in a lot of different ways. Look, they were batting passes down left and right
I don't even rarely see a hand up anymore.
They're rarely going up anymore.
They did that all last year.
Coached into different things. I tweeted to John Keim this week. Remember, I'd said something last week about where they have Chase lining up, and it seemed to me last year he lined up predominantly on the left tackle. He played right defensive end. This year he's predominantly on the other side. And Keim told me that it was just
nothing new.
Yeah, nothing new. They've been doing that, but I don't remember him doing it. He's almost exclusively. Yesterday I saw him a couple of times lining up on the left tackle, and even though. They were not playing badly last year with Reeves and Curl. Okay, those guys were playmakers.
And so was DeShazier Everett. He came in and he put fear in people too. He will knock someone's head off. He's not afraid.
His name just rhymes with razor. Of course, he's a frightening fella. I get nervous just when I hear his name. But even still, a lot of the things. This is where I'm really at with Jack Del Rio. Is okay. You're telling me all the time that you've got new players that aren't recognizing each other very well and they're not playing together very well. Well, fine. You brought these fucking new players in. Right? You recommended these new players. I refuse to believe that in this wonderful organization that Ron is building, that he doesn't go around to his coordinators and say, okay, what do we need? Right. When we're doing this. So you guys brought in Bobby McCain. Okay. You guys decided, okay, we need this dude to upgrade over Reeves, and you guys put him down on the practice squad. Well, look what it got you.
Yeah. And listen, Bobby McCain had a great year last year with the Dolphins. He's played very well. Same thing with William Jackson III. But his penalties, man, they're killers. That was an unexcusable hit on Taysom Hill's head. I mean, to be honest with you, I hate to see people injured, but that helped a lot.
It sure did.
Because Taysom Hill is a good player.
I mean, like you said on the penalties, I agree with that 100%, but I see a lot of the scoring happening to our safeties.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Absolutely right about that. I'm just talking about in general. Like, John was talking about bringing these players in. Yes, they were good with other teams, but you got to put them in those positions why were they good with the other teams? You got to ask yourself that. Why were they good?
Ask yourself, why are the two guys that I have here now good with me? Instead of saying, these guys are pretty good, let me bring in some different guys.
That's true. Yes.
Right? They fix what hasn't been broken. And this is what's driving me crazy. Or they don't fix what is clearly broken because they get enamored with fucking John Bostic or fucking Dustin Hopkins, which, by the way, is my boy.
I think some changes are coming. If you listen to Rivera's press conference, you can. It was totally different this year. Or this game, he was frustrated. So I would expect some sort of changes coming up.
Good. Personally. I'm glad he was frustrated because honestly, I'm tired of the coaches coming out on the podium with their cliche bullshit that they always give after Sundays, and they leave you hanging at and have you wondering, do you even know what's going on with your team? I hope he does, because now it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
I don't mind cliche bullshit. That is the Bill Belichick method. Tell them nothing, which is fine with me, because all too often we see with our media in this town, when you got one that tells too much, like Gruden, they hang him out to dry for everything, and it distracts everything. So that's fine. I don't care if they give.
I'm
you
okay with
stock
some
answer.
emotion being given, though. I want to see that you're clearly pissed off, because
Be
that's
pissed,
telling.
but don't answer any questions.
Oh,
you
sure,
know when
be
Bill Belichick
pissed.
is pissed, but he doesn't say shit.
Yeah.
Sure, be pissed, but my point is
that shows you that, hey, he knows that something's going on, and they gotta figure. Listen, we have Murderers Row coming up, man. I mean, if we play like we did yesterday, or if we continue to play that, they're gonna hang 50, 60 fucking points on us. They're gonna have their third string quarterback in by the third quarter, because not from injury.
Landon Collins wasn't expecting a goddamn fucking Hail Mary. Wait till he sees what Patrick Mahomes can do.
Landon Collins,
he threw it under his legs and behind his back. I wasn't expecting that.
Very disappointing
on the field. Yeah,
it's very disappointing, because preseason you think you're going to get something different.
Listen, what we were at training camp, and I paid attention to Landon Collins because.
Oh, was he playing his position though in preseason? I didn't pay attention to none of that. Was he playing in the box?
It seemed to be. He seemed to be flying all over the field. Yeah. And he seemed to be making big tackles at opportune times and I saw him make a couple of stops, and he looked fast, but on the field of play, he looks so slow.
He looks like he doesn't understand what he's supposed to be doing.
He's trying to make a play, or he's trying to make the play and not making the actual play, if that makes sense. And he's going off script, and you can tell, players can tell, and I wouldn't be surprised if, you have your veterans like a John Allen go into Ron Rivera's office, like, listen, you need to get this motherfucker off the field. It ain't working. Fix it.
They're off from Alabama. They should take his ass back into the broom closet. Tell him, stay the fuck off the field, or we'll give you what for. Look, I wrote a poem in the middle of the game yesterday on Twitter. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Landon Collins, get the fuck off the field. Thank you.
Okay.
There was a lot of effort put into that yesterday.
Deep thought,
hey man, I tell you what.
Deep thought.
That's right. It's all about the emotion.
Deep Thoughts by John Taman.
Landon Collins, get the fuck off the field by John Taman. All right. Yeah, it was frustrating enough watching him play. It was frustrating enough watching them once again miss obvious bullshit that they should be easily picking up. But to hear him sit back there and say, we weren't expecting, I don't even want to, you ever look at your kids sometime and go, how the fuck do you not know how to do this? But he's
right.
5 or 6.
Listen, it goes back to the whole accountability issue. If you can't take accountability for these bad things, and you're going to sit there and make excuses,
we weren't expecting
that says everything that you need to know about where this defense is at and where we're headed if shit doesn't get fixed. But to be honest, and I feel like that today's miserable Monday is probably one of the worst Mondays that I've seen in a long time. Based upon this team, and I think
it's only the 5th one of the season.
Yeah,
no, I'm not. I'm going back to last season.
That's why you haven't seen one in a long time.
There's been some miserable Mondays, but this one was really bad. And I think what it boils down to is there's absolutely zero hope for this defense, and I think that people are looking at the schedule for at least the next 2 weeks. I know they're throwing the Dolphins in there too, but I think that that's a possible winnable game for us. But
we don't
if you're
play
just
the
focused,
Dolphins. Are you? You're talking about the Broncos?
Yeah, we got the Broncos.
What, in the next 3 weeks?
Yeah. We don't play the Dolphins this year. I think you're thinking of the Broncos.
You're right. It is the Broncos.
But
you're right.
No, you're right. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Either way, I don't change. The Broncos, I think, are a beatable team.
Yeah, sure.
So, no, my bad. I was wrong. For some reason, I was thinking the Dolphins, but the Broncos are a winnable team. We are not winnable against the Chiefs or the Packers. I think that not only are we looking at this horrific loss from yesterday, but we are also thinking about, damn, we got to play these next two teams, the next 2 weeks.
What
miserable Monday has gotten a lot worse.
Yeah. See, we knew that there was a murderous row coming up, and we wanted them to be set up to be able to absorb these losses that we
compete.
are. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Being 3-2
figured,
here.
Yeah, we needed to be 3-2 instead of 2-3 coming into the,
So this
who
stretch
knows? Because we got Rodgers, Mahomes, we got Brady coming up, Wilson maybe. I don't. It depends on his finger. Who knows? But
and we got Sam Darnold in there. That dude is fucking blockhead supreme.
So to be able to absorb some of those losses, this was a must-win game, and we lost it.
Well, and I think too that the mindset is if we can get through Murderers Row with a close to a 500 record, and then you go into your last 5 games of the season where they're all divisional opponents, it would actually give us a shot back at the playoffs again. But now people are seeing it as no hope. When you're watching the Cowboys play, all you see is no hope. They're going to eat our defense alive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Eagles at this point could beat us. Eagles, prevailed over Carolina, even though Carolina is not, considered to be a great team, but a team that has a decent defense. The Giants, just because everybody and their brother is injured, including John's best friend, Daniel Jones,
Daniel Jones.
Right now, those only seem, if those guys stay hurt, which I know Daniel Jones won't, but if Saquon Barkley stays hurt, it seems like the Giants is the only division game that we have a chance in that 5-game spread. So it's not looking optimistic for us at all.
No, it's not. But Saquon's ankle looked like he had 2 ankles in there. I don't know if you guys could see it from the stadium, but it did. It looked pretty fucking.
That was a nasty injury, man.
Yeah, I feel bad. He's such a good player too. He's on a rival, man. I got nothing against Saquon Barkley.
Penn State alumni.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. It sucks to see good players like that go down.
The only thing I'll say to the Cowboys and what people are seeing in the Cowboys is right. Everything even right now, they're going to crush us. But look what just happened to the Giants. That could happen to anybody at any time. So let's just hope that Dak Prescott gets the fucking shit knocked out of him one of these times. The leg gets broken. That would be good. Maybe Amari Cooper, gets a rib cracked or something like that. Nothing serious. Nothing life-threatening or anything.
Absolutely. Well, listen, guys.
Does Russell Wilson come back when we have him? Let me see. Yeah, that's going to be his comeback.
It's in November, I think.
Well, did they give an official timeline?
4
weeks,
about
4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks or something like that.
So that'll put him right in our sights.
Yeah.
Hey, I have no arm. Look at that.
Interesting.
So,
well, gentlemen,
moving on to. I'm all depressed now.
Well, we got to pay the bills.
Oh, right.
So before we get into game balls, goat balls, and coaches discussion, let's go ahead and pay the bills.
The Bleeding Burgundy podcast presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Washington Football Team secondary player.
Mr. Washington Football Team secondary player.
You know every receiver the opposing team has because you spend the whole game reading his name on the back of his jersey.
How did that guy get past me again?
Unknown receivers circle your game on the schedule and invite their whole family to watch them roast you like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Welcome to the NFL, Deontay Harris.
You couldn't cover the deep third if you got paid millions and millions of dollars to do it.
Landon Collins, what the fuck was that?
You lay down and give it up on third down like a $5 prostitute who took ecstasy at a frat party.
Oh, so easy.
So step out and take a bow, Mr. Washington Football Team secondary player. Because without you playing the way you do, this team might be 4-1 or 3-2.
Mr. Washington Football Team secondary player.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. Oh, gentlemen. Gentlemen.
Fuck
All right.
you, Landon Collins. Fuck you.
Gentlemen, let's get into our game balls. I'll start with Jesse. Who are you giving the game ball to?
Man, shit. I'm gonna give it because he hasn't got one all year. Chase Young. I think he deserved one for getting that monkey off his back and getting that first counted sack of the season. I think, like you said before, I think the defensive line played fairly well. But he deserves one, definitely.
The only guy that I can think to give up, I mean, Chase Young should get one for his big sack and a fumble it was a good spot in the game to get it, and we just couldn't do anything with it. But I'll go with DeAndre Carter. He's trying his ass off.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. He's trying his ass off. Adam Humphrey had a good game too, but I like DeAndre Carter.
Yeah, that's not actually a bad choice. I was thinking that. Mine's going to go to Deron Payne. I think he played well on the line. Well, didn't he get a forced fumble too?
He
picked one up.
Recovery. Yeah,
he got
recovery.
right. He got the recovery. Okay.
Fall on the ball, Deron. God damn it.
Yeah, he just seemed like that he was balling out in the beginning. Again, I think the line went flat towards the end, but
pissed.
They should be good. Somebody needs to be
pissed for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Somebody needs to be. I mean, it's either John Allen or it's Deron Payne. I mean, where are the other guys? These other guys need to get involved. I mean, I know we're giving game balls to Chase Young, but something's got to change. Something's got to happen. But if I had to, it would definitely be him. There was some bright spots in this game.
Yeah, no doubt. You're going towards the the offensive side of the ball. I think Antonio Gibson deserves one too. He's still running good. I don't think we're getting him involved enough.
He's getting beat up.
Yeah, that's true. I would like to see him more in the short passing game. But he's a good running back, and I don't think anybody can deny that whatsoever. Well, when he got the ball, he did something with it.
I'm just concerned about his health. He's got shin splints, right? That's not something that's good. Yesterday I see him holding his ribs a little bit. He's just got a lot of little freaking nicks and dings. Be cool if he can pull through with it, but I don't know how long it's going to be before it all adds up.
It was surprising not to see McKissick involved as much as he normally, or at least he had been past couple games.
We outsmarted ourselves.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
And there's plenty of these that can go around, but let's go ahead and let's get some go balls.
Well, Dustin Hopkins deserves a pat on the back.
He got a pat on the back. Yeah, there you go.
He doesn't get a game ball. No, you just get a pat on
the back.
Good boy. Right.
Thanks for doing your job, Dustin.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Buy you a hot dog up at the concession stand.
Oh man, where to begin? I'm going with Taylor Heinicke. He gets a goat ball. The number one on offense, at least.
My goat ball is very specific, and I'm not sure who's to blame for the strategizing at the end of the first half to fucking quit. All right, that 1 yard line, 3 straight dives. We gained a half a yard and a half at the most, and gave them enough time to do what we were going to do. And the reason I hate it more than anything, he played scared, whoever it is, played scared, played afraid that they were going to make a dreadful mistake on offense, which has been your more solid unit. And in doing so, you put on the unit that has been constantly making mistakes, especially when they say things after the game like, we weren't fucking expecting them to try to score a touchdown.
Let me ask you this.
It was that said, let's just lay on it here at the end of the half.
Let me ask you this on that point, John. Do you think that they've lost some confidence in Taylor, and that's why they were just trying to get some room for the punt team?
That's very possible. But you know what? If you're going to say I've lost confidence in Taylor Heinicke and you can't tell me that you can't, why are you going to put him on the field? Why are you going to put him? If you can't tell me you can try for a first down, why are you going to put him on the field? All right. They had things that they could have done. They ran 3 straight dives without Terry in the game, like I said earlier, which tells the defense immediately they're not even going to really try to do anything with this. They're just going to run straight up into the middle, which they did. So you saw them all crash down. All right, well, fucking play action pass it one time. Play action pass that motherfucker one time and hit Ricky Seals-Jones leaking out. Get 10 yards, get 20 yards, right? Try. That's the bottom line for it.
Seals-Jones had a good game too. He played fairly well too. He had I think one drop, but I
think he got called for holding once.
Yeah,
one of the few holding calls that were called in the game. Because good Lord, I saw Chase Young literally getting the dude had him by the waist from behind, and like you were watching him try to play flag football, tackle somebody from behind. The dude had him by the waist and was hanging on him. Chase had already broken free, and I'm like, where the referee? What's he doing? So I look at him over there. He's looking at his fucking phone. Oh wow. John wrote a poem.
Keith?
I mean, there's plenty of this to go around, but I'll go ahead and give mine to Jack Del Rio for 2 reasons.
Yeah,
First reason is our number 1 draft pick isn't out there, but getting 13 snaps, and none of us know why. And the second reason is, again, not having as much participation with Cam Curl in this game.
Yeah.
Don't understand why. I mean, guy was successful last season. Why are we acting?
He was one of our best
he doesn't
players
belong
on defense last year.
Right.
He
Why
made
are
a couple
we
of plays yesterday.
No, he did. When he's
Couple.
on the field,
He did when he's on the field.
He
But
got
what-
beat once too, but he made a couple of plays.
And listen, that's good. That same goes with Jamin Davis. When he's on the field, I see him around the ball, and that's
from what I've seen from Jamin Davis. He can stuff that run.
he can do that, and he's fast too. Like
and they weren't shy on giving Kamara the ball. I mean, Kamara was getting his touches. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't understand what's going on with this coaching staff and their thought process on these players. Again, you're trying to fix something that, like John said, that isn't broke. Why are we keeping Cameron Curl on the sidelines? It does not make any sense to me. Why is our first round draft pick not playing in the game? It doesn't make
13 snaps.
Right.
Yeah.
13 snaps.
So 0 cents to me. So he can get my goat ball.
Yeah. He ain't a quarterback.
I mean, obviously,
you don't need to fucking keep him in plastic wrap.
You need to give Landon Collins and Bobby McCain a goat ball too.
They can all have them.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know,
I'm just
if
picking
you
out
took
what I
Landon
think is the
Collins
worst.
and Bobby McCain's heads and you put them in a plastic bag, it would look like a sack of goat balls.
Is
and if
McCain's
it's Bobby McCain's head, one of them's really swollen.
Oh boy, is his dreads the goat hair?
I don't know, but I guarantee you that's why he's got a helmet that looks like it's 2 sizes too big for his head. He's got to have enough room. But I bet you it's padded as hell up in there. He wraps that fucking things around in his head. He probably never feels a single hit.
Oh man. Well, since I mentioned Del Rio, that leads us into our last and final segment here, gentlemen. How much are we blaming coaching on this?
A lot.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
A lot.
Go
I'm blaming it a lot. You know, the players are playing stupid, but the coach, if you're playing undisciplined football, which is what a lot of the problem is, that comes down to coaching. All right. If you got Daron Payne in a news conference saying some players are freelancing, essentially, that comes down to coaching. Coaching should be on the sidelines in his ass, chewing his ass. I think everybody within 5 sections of where that coach is should be talking about it immediately the next day, saying, Jesus Christ, he was chewing the shit out of his ass. But there's nothing like that. They treat them like they're kids, and they say things like, well, we're still coming together. Bullshit. It's fucking week 5, right? Against Jameis Winston. Not the Jameis Winston that can put the lights out. The right Jameis Winston. The one that'll fucking throw balls up in the air and fucking do stupid panicky shit. Yeah, so I put a lot of it on the coaching. They're coaching scared. The offense was coaching scared yesterday with that freaking end of the half bullshit. I don't care for it. I've said my piece.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still putting more on the players. But it's as the weeks go by, I'm putting a little bit more on the coaches. I do think the fact that I don't understand some of the decisions that they make. I'm not blaming scheme, okay? Because we've seen the scheme work before, but I'm blaming the coaches on the fact that they are putting the wrong people out on the field. They got to make the necessary changes and put the right people out there. And when these said people are out there freelancing, fucking do something about that, period. So that blame right there goes on the coaches.
Chew their ass.
I think Del Rio's seat is getting warmer and warmer as the week go by. And not saying Brian is going to be on the hot seat whatsoever, because that's not the case. But a fire needs to be lit in his ass too to get his other coaches in line.
Yeah,
I think
if that makes sense. If that makes sense.
Yeah, he'll light his own fire.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't want to hear anymore. I don't want to hear about change of culture. and how our culture is good. It's the same bullshit culture. It just gets transferred in different spots. At the end of the day, it's still a bad culture until we start winning. And with Ron Rivera, sorry, we haven't started winning. In fact, we're worse than what we were perceived to be in the offseason. It looked like we were trending, even though we were 7-9, but the reality has hit that we were a lucky 7-9 team. And as of right now, we are not trending upward. So I'm blaming this 100% on the coaches, because you're trying to fix something that isn't broke. And guys are not in their right positions. But I'll be honest with you, I don't even think I have faith that if guys were in the right positions, that much would change. Again, it's inexcusable that your first round guy is not out there getting more than 13 snaps. Why are these other linebackers eating, but ours aren't? Does that mean that this defensive scheme isn't for Jamin Davis? I have no idea. Why is he sitting on the sideline? Why are we not getting any explanation to this is another issue. And I know coaches don't, divulge these types of reasons, but these are the questions that the media really needs to focus on and continue to pound these coaches with. Why was Jamin Davis not out on the field? Why has Cameron Curl not been out on the field? Why is it that they are, doing certain percentage snaps, per play? These guys, Cameron Curl was amazing last season. I mean, he did great. It looked like he was, the diamond in the rough, a needle in the haystack. And now it looks like we're just trying to stash him right back into that haystack for no reason. So I want answers to these questions. And I'm looking at the coach. I'm not looking at Del Rio. I'm looking at the head coach. And I don't want to hear anything more about how culture has changed. You can create all these programs like the fan ambassador program. You can create and do all these wonderful things. But at the end of the day, if we're not winning, none of this shit works. Matter. None of it matters.
I will disagree about the culture. We have a dance team now. And there's a fat guy on it, and that makes a big difference. There's a lot of people out there.
Hey, that guy can move too.
Man.
That guy can move.
He can jiggle his
a lot
jelly,
of people.
That's for sure.
Hope for tomorrow is what he does.
That guy's gonna meet me out in the red zone lot. I'm certain, because of you guys.
That's cool. I think he's pretty cool, man. That's why I bring him up. But hey, I feel pretty good about the culture. We've got, like I said, we've got fan ambassadors. I get to talk to one every week. That's pretty fucking cool.
Oh, thanks, John.
I got some pull now.
It's time to stop winning off the field and start winning on the field.
Right.
Basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Now it's time now?
It's stop with the nonsense. I mean, it's obviously shit had to been cleaned up, but it's time to clean up the field now.
Listen, and I'll continue to do this ambassador thing, because again, a lot of the things that we're doing has nothing to do with the on-field play. It's actually, at least my category. I'm not going to speak for the other people because I don't ever talk to them about theirs, but we are and have implemented a few things since our last conversation with Joey of guest services. And we are implementing, certain things that, like I said, that have nothing to do with, the team and on-field play. But at the end of the day, I can't advocate and try to help the team. And what I think another reason why they, brought us on board was to help advocate how things are getting better. Sure, they might be getting better in some aspects, but those are aspects that a lot of fans at this point right now don't care about unless we're winning.
Ooh, win. That's what we want. Win football games.
So I'm not mad at people I'm not mad at people who, go after the ambassadors. I'm just mad at the ones who think that the idea of it, behind it is corny, or that we have anything to do with the on-field play, or that we have any kind of whatsoever influence on the team name. We ain't got none of that. Right?
Really? I thought you guys could go out and call a play or two.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you pay $75 and, just show your fan ambassador card and we can call a couple plays. It's probably why the team's been so bad.
Defense,
be careful. Be careful when we say things like that. Hey, that sounds like a pretty good idea. $75 for calling a play. What do we have? 65 plays a game? Let's make it $700. Yeah.
Oh man. I went and listened to the teaser and me trying to convince myself that Daniel Snyder's changing as a guy. I couldn't have sounded more like a fan ambassador. I almost was like, damn, no, these people if they hear that, they're gonna come after me.
No, because you put Jason up as Smithers.
Yeah,
Smithers that's not a good comparison to be made.
Oh, I wanted to tag Jason in that. I'm like, I don't know if this is going too far.
Not.
That was funny.
I called the man Smithers. That's all right. He can call me a lot of things too, so it's all good.
What's he gonna do right now? Come at us.
Yeah.
Whatever, buddy. You want to win some football games?
I don't have anything to do with the product of the field.
Jason, can you suit up?
Yeah, man.
Can you play safety? We need you. We need you out there, guy. Well, listen, gentlemen, as much fun, and actually it wasn't fun because no one wants to sit here and trash their team all day.
That's kind of fun. We've been used to it. We've been doing it for 25 years.
That's true.
That's true, man.
Justin, you got anything new and exciting going on?
Nope, not at all.
Check this out. My son finally gave me my birthday present. Now, this is what kind of kid I have. This is my new Fitbit with its beautiful fucking lavender band.
Nice.
Dipshit.
I can check how many steps I've had today. Look, I've had a lot of steps today.
That's actually a gift that was requested by my wife for Christmas this year. So
we can trade bands. Buy her one with a black band. Actually, I'm going to buy me something, but he gives me this.
You can get a band for pretty cheap.
He tried to tell me it's purple. He goes, "Here, Dad, it's purple." I'm like, I got to tell you something. The fact is, he is colorblind, and that's a fact. He's colorblind, and this is clearly.
Oh, well, cut him some slack then.
No, because you know what, I do the same thing. Give him something like that he has to wear around.
Give him like neon pink and purple.
He's got a good sense of humor. I bet you he freaking probably went, "Yeah, I'll give Dad this freaking little lavender thing." He probably picked it up and said, "This is blue," and his girlfriend said, "No, it's lavender. It's almost pink." And Max went, "Yeah, okay, good." I see you, boy. By the way, my son came over both days this week to watch the football games. We watched Penn State play Iowa. Lost. God damn it.
I thought about you.
I was watching that in the hotel room. Yeah.
I thought about you during that game.
Oh man, they couldn't snap the ball in the second half. They kept getting pinned. You talk about the punter for the Saints, man. Penn State kept getting pinned inside the 10-yard line, and it was so loud they couldn't hear their goddamn signals. And it was false start after false start after false start after literally 2nd and 35 was about their average during the course of the second half. The kid couldn't get anything going. Starting quarterback got hurt. So he comes over for that, we lose. He comes over for the game yesterday, we lose. So guess who got his key taken away? And he brought me a freaking lavender band for my Fitbit.
You're living a tough life right now, sir.
It sucks. This thing's making me lisp much more than I should be. I feel kind of light in the loafers when I'm wearing it, though.
Good times. Well, listen, for everyone who's
remind you of college or something. This time we had a couple of White Claws, and before you know it.
Oh boy, John! Every time I try to close this out, you just keep coming back.
Can't help it. Sorry.
I know. All right, let me close this out. God, John, I'm trying to be a professional who doesn't get paid. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, the closeout. Well, thanks everybody for listening to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast with my co-host Jesse Martin and also John Taman.
And don't forget to go to hawkfarmerscharity.org.
You son of a bitch! That was a part of my closeout.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I thought
you guys are totally frying me on my day of hosting.
Now you know what I've gone through over the past months.
That's true. John and I do screw you over a lot. I'll give you that. Well, guys, thanks for listening to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast with my co-host Jesse Martin and John Taman. We had a lot of fun with you guys today. Be sure to listen to our next episode this Friday, where we talk about the Washington football team, how they're going to get completely smacked ass by the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs have all these injuries. But we would love to break down, give you some pro analysis, have fun, and have a good time.
Don't forget, that'll be our 50th episode, Keith, and we will have Selma Hayek naked here on the show.
Yeah.
God, I appreciate you bringing that up. And of course, Jesse, where can they find you on Twitter?
You can find me at Jesse's24. That's JESSYS24.
John, where can they find you on Twitter?
Usually right here at my desk.
That's a bad dad joke.
And I know, it was terrible. At Bang Radio Hour, if you can stomach shit like that.
And you can catch me at KG Skins 26. I appreciate everyone that's listening. You guys have a wonderful, miserable Monday. We out.
Hail to the fucking bullshit fucking Landon Collins ass motherfucker.